Hi lovely Bookfest buddies, it's really good to see you again and welcome to another Bookfest Bites. I am getting very excited because I think in school you might be starting to think about writing your story into this little black book, and I can't wait to read them. I really want to find out a bit about you, the author, the person that wrote the book. So this week the Bookfest Bite is all about author biographies. Now I know you did some research a few weeks ago about authors, but this week we'd really like to have a look in detail at their biographies that they've written into their books. Most authors have an autobiography like this, and they did write them themselves, which you might find quite surprising because it sounds like someone else is talking about them. This example is from Rob Biddulph, who wrote Show and Tell, a really good funny picture book. And here is his biography in the very back of the book. And there's a picture of him as a little boy. You could add something like that to your autobiography if you like. It says, Rob's favourite class in school was any that he could draw in, which annoyed his teachers, but has come in very handy for his career as an award-winning author and illustrator. He lives in London with his family, and his 3 daughters couldn't be prouder of him, although they haven't brought him in for Show and Tell just yet. Maybe next year. Rob's picture books have won many awards and are loved by children all over the world. You can visit Rob and all his friends at www.robbiddulph.com. That little bit of information means you can go and find out even more about this author, and I'm sure you've seen some of their websites. So sometimes it might sound like the authors are showing off a little bit and telling you that they've won awards and their books are read by children everywhere. But what they're trying to do is get you to realise that they're really good and their books are good, and it might make you want to buy them or read them. Here's a book by Grylls. You might have seen him on the television, and he's got a fantastic biography. Again, in the back of the book, there's a photograph of him looking very tough and cool. Grylls is one of the most famous adventurers in the world. After spending 3 years in the SAS, he set off to explore the globe in search of even bigger challenges. He has climbed Mount Everest, crossed the Sahara Desert, and circumnavigated Britain on a jet ski. His TV shows have been seen by more than 1.2 billion people in more than 150 countries. In 2009, Bear became Chief Scout to the Scouting Association. He lives in London and Wales with his wife Shara and their 3 sons, Jesse, Marmaduke and Huckleberry. I think you could have quite a lot of fun making up a biography about you, a bit like that one. What adventures have you had? What led you to become an award-winning author like this one? And how many people have read your books all over the world? You can write whatever you like. You could imagine you're a grown-up author, or you could imagine you're an author just now. This book, The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis, it's very famous, hasn't really got an autobiography, but there is a letter in the front to Lucy, who is actually a character in the story, but in real life was C.S. Lewis's goddaughter, and this letter says a little bit about the story and why he's written it, and written it for her. So the information in this letter gives you a little bit of information about the author, but also why he came up with this story. So you might like to choose something like that. Sometimes there isn't an autobiography because the author's so famous and has written so many books that we know all about them already, but instead they just have lots of pictures or a list of all the books that they've written, and that encourages you to find out more or read more as well. So you might want to have a page, as well as your biography, of all the other books that you've written. I wonder if you can come up with all the different titles. This book by Anthony Horowitz hasn't got a biography, but it talks again about the inspiration for the story and where his character came up with. So you might want to have a go about writing that kind of information at the beginning. So this week, what would we like you to do? I know you've been researching authors, and here is a website page of Ben Davis, one of our friends of Bookfest, who's visiting some of you in schools. So sometimes a biography can be found on their website. So you could have a go at doing this. You could make up your own web page all about you and your books. And we've got a sheet, so you can have a go at setting your own out. It might be that you make your own author fact file. So here's going to be a picture of you, the author, with some information and facts. It might be what you've done before, it might be about how you became a writer, or how many people have read your books all over the world and how many awards you've won. Can't wait to find out about you. You might want to write a really straightforward but informative biography, and there's 2 examples here from Andy Stanton and Emma Carroll, and you might want to write your own all about the author section. But remember, the author is you. I can't wait to find out what you can say about yourself and read about you, because reading about you, the author, helps us to understand a bit more about the story that you've come up with. Have a go at writing your own author biography, and I'll see you again soon. Bye guys.